the way you get referrals with women, one more little trick before we sign off here, is almost the opposite of the way most sales training programs recommend. Don't ask women, I'm so happy you're glad with our service. Can you think of anybody else who might also benefit from this? Women are much more protective of their friends than men are. And they're not going to risk having their friends, imposing upon their friends by sending somebody to talk to them if they don't know for sure that their friends need that service. Here's how you get women to talk about you. It's a little thing called surprise and delight, and it doesn't need to cost a thing. Here's an example that I learned from a financial advisor in Canada. He said most of his book of business was women. And these were Chairman's Club producers that I was talking to. These were the top producers. So I'm talking to them, and this guy comes up to me afterwards, and he says, you know what I do? He said, my whole book of business, every time I get a new female client or a referral, she gives me a referral to one of her friends or something like that, I send her in the referral a jar of homemade jam. I make it myself. I put a hand-lettered label on it. Marty, great working with you. He said, you would not believe the number of women who call me up to thank me for my thank you. So how does that work? Well, I'll give you an example from my own life. Peapod, I use Peapod. And one day they showed up and they delivered my groceries into my kitchen, and the guy hands me a bouquet of red roses. And I said, well, wow, these are beautiful, but I didn't order any red roses. And he said, well, no, ma'am, we know, but we just decided that anybody who happened to have a delivery scheduled on Valentine's Day, we were going to give them a free bouquet of red roses. I said, how nice. I got to tell you, I don't live that exciting a life, so when my friends ask me, it's my least favorite question, what's new? I hardly have anything to say. But this was out of the ordinary. So I said, well, I'll tell you something that's weird. I had my groceries delivered yesterday, and the guy just gave me a free bouquet of red roses. Isn't that great? And she said, oh, what's Peapod? This was a few years ago when they were getting launched. I said, they're an online grocery delivery service. Oh, how's their produce? Very good. How are their people? Very good. Does it cost? Blah, blah, blah. She got a little 5-minute personal endorsement from me for the cost of what was probably $2.50 in roses. And guess what? I mean, that's the answer I gave out for a few days. I lived on that answer of what's new for a few days. So there were a lot of people who heard about this little thing because it wasn't an incentive. It wasn't order groceries to be delivered on Valentine's Day, because then I would be like, where's my bouquet? This was a surprise. And because of that, I talked about it.